So the word wild here is not used in its modern pejorative sense, meaning out of control, but in its original sense, which means to live a natural life, one in which the creature has innate integrity and healthy boundaries. Woman who runs with the wolves. These words, wild and woman, cause women to remember who they are and what they are about. They create a metaphor to describe the force which funds all females. They personify a force that women cannot live without. The wild woman archetype can be expressed in other terms which are equally apt. You can call this powerful psychological nature the instinctive nature, but wild woman, in the force which lies behind that, you can call it the natural psyche, but the archetype of the wild woman stands behind that as well. You can call it indigenous, the intrinsic nature of woman. In poetry, it might be called the other, or the seven oceans of the universe, or the far woods, or the friend. In various psychologies and from various perspectives, it would perhaps be called the id, the self, the medial nature. In biology, it would be called the typical or fundamental nature. But because it is tacit, prescient, and visceral amongst Candidoras, it is called the wise or knowing nature. It is sometimes called the woman who lives in the end of time, or the woman who lives at the edge of the world. And this creature is always a creator hag, or a death goddess, or a maiden in descent, or any number of other personifications. She is both friend and mother to all those who have lost their way, all those who need a learning, all those who have a riddle to solve, all those out in the forest or the desert wandering and searching. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Perhaps it's time to rewatch those fairy tales and to recognize this archetype and the medicine that she brings. Right before the fairy tale princess finds herself, emerges, evolves in her divine feminine into her fullness.